fall is your favorite season like mine, be sure to make it last as long as possible by playing with the beautiful October hip kits. Hi guys, I'm back again with another layout using the beautiful Fall Vibes collection from Hip Kit Club, featured in their October 2023 kits. Now, I'm going to be highlighting one of the new die sets, which is the Fall Clipboard and Frame die set, but I'm also using a recipe of products that I was given as part of my assignment. One of those pieces is to use the oversized chipboard titles that are in the embellishment kit, and I love these. They're fantastic, and of course I want to use them on my project, right? I was experimenting on this one. They are a matte chipboard, and I first started to try to color them with the magicals, but they do have a little bit of a gloss. Even though they're called matte, they do have a little bit of a glossy texture, so the magicals didn't quite stick. Next, I put on some gesso to see if I could make the color stick, which it did, but it was quite yellow and a little lighter than I wanted it to be. So I did pull out the gold acrylic paint from the June 2023 color kits, and I went ahead and painted my title that awesome gold metallic color, which is just perfect. I love that warm tone with gold. Or with fall. It has that autumn glow, right? So you saw at the beginning of this video that I had set out a variety of papers that I wanted to use with this photo. This is a photo of my daughter that we took this year up in a canyon near our house. Now, it's her senior year in high school, and she's kind of asking me to do a lot of photos of her this year. So we went and did a fall photo shoot because, you know, senior year, and you want to use those photos later on for the graduation announcement. So that's what we were doing. Now, this is one of my favorite photos from that photo shoot, and it was just her laying on the ground in a pile of leaves, and I just thought the leaves looked so beautiful against the bright green grass. So I'm going to use this for my layout today, and of course I'm going to die cut lots and lots of beautiful fall leaves and use a variety of leaves actually from the kits. But I also wanted to use this adorable clipboard die from the Fall Clipboard and Frame set. This is so cute. I did grab some gold foil cardstock from my stash to use for the clip, but it is such a cute size. I'm going to use it for my journaling today, and but what you should know is that it is about a 3x4 size. It's a little bit smaller, so it's perfect for pocket scrapbooking as well. So I love that versatility that it can be used in both ways. And I have lots of other ideas for this little clipboard that I hope to be using in the near future. Now that I have my title ready to go and my journal spot ready to go, I'm going to start layering up some of these beautiful pattern papers behind my photo. For the background, I used that yellow flourish paper that's called Celebrate Together. I matted my photo with another piece of that yellow paper that's called Autumn Dreams. It's kind of a mesh pattern. And then I double matted it with that beautiful navy plaid, and that is called Prettiest Season, which, come on, fall is the prettiest season. I then added in that those scribbly squares that's called Grateful and Blessed, and now I'm placing a band of this navy diamond pattern. It's almost like a textile print, and that paper is called Autumn Dreams. Don't you just love all the paper names? I like to mention them because I think they do such a good job at naming their papers. Now, of course, I'm going to bring in lots of leaves because I'm using this title called Leaves, and my daughter's laying in leaves. And I wanted to start out with the vellum leaves that are in the main kit. Let me double check. Yeah, those are from the main kit. So they're so pretty. I'm going to kind of use those as a base to build out some leaf clusters in different areas around the page. So I'm choosing like the pink and orange vellum leaves from the vellum leaf set, and I'll start working off of those. But first I'm going to add a few more pieces here around my title just for embellishing. So to the right of my title, I used one of the chipboard frames. That was one of the pieces that for my recipe challenge that I needed to use. So behind that, I placed that gray Moroccan screen type pattern that's called Grateful and Blessed, and I just backed that chipboard frame, and I'm going to use it to as a base for my vellum, my leaves, and also for some more die cuts. So while I was spotting some die cuts to use, I found this cutest little sleeping fox, and I had to use him for sure. So now I'm just finding something else to pair him with. I thought I might use the house, but I end up using that tall pink tree that you can see there in the tray. There I go. I've selected it now. So I love that, and I love the height that adds to the right side of the page. So I'm feeling good about my design now, and I'm ready to start committing to some things. I'm using 1/8 inch foam tape from scrapbook.com just to add some height to my page or to my title. I like to do that, and I love the thin width of this foam so that it makes it really easy to add to thin things like this script chipboard title here. So I'm going to place that on the light blue paper, and then I'm going to add that chipboard circle off to the right. I'll just turn it a little bit so that those red leaves are showing on either side, and then I'll go ahead and layer up that tree and the fox using some foam tape. Now I'm ready to start adding my leaves, so I'm going to start arranging them, and I spend a lot of time on this, and this is usually my embellishing part is the part where I move things around a lot. Like I've been to crops where people have kind of made fun of me because I really do. Like I move things back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and people are like, just commit already. And I'm like, I know, I just can't decide. So anyway, I kind of skip past that process, and I'm going to move over and create some mixed media leaves using the color kit. So I've pulled out the Cape Cod Coral and the Summer Love and Sun, which is that yellow there, and I'm going to just paint and do all kinds of fun things on this white piece of cardstock, and I plan to use this once it's dry to die cut out several of those leaves. And you see that leaf shape there, that's from the same clipboard set. So there's so many cool images in this set, and you'll be able to use this over and over again. So just kind of mixing together the Cape Cod Coral and the yellow, the Summer Love and Sun, and just, kind of pouncing the paint on and sprinkling the paint on. After I get that done, I bring in the same gold metallic paint that I used on the title, and I'm going to sprinkle that across this as well. So I sprinkle it on, I'm kind of blotting it on, and I'm just sopping up what's ever on my desk and just making a lot of variations. So I'm going to set that aside to dry, and I'm going to go work on some more layers of this page. So I'm going to add, die cut out 2 of these little tiny tags. This is from the same clipboard die set, so many cool images, and I'm going to add those to the top right corner of my photo, and I will use those to anchor a little embellishment cluster as well. So this is where I start adding in the leaves that I mentioned, and before I get really into that, I am going to add some tan colored twine to my tags. You can see that I've also stitched around the edge of my page with some tan thread. That's just what was in my sewing machine from my last layout that I did with this kit. So I like how the tan looks with these colors. So I went ahead and did that. And then here I am just using those vellum leaves as the base, and then I'll add these die cut leaves. And then you'll see that I'm going to bring in lots of fussy cut leaves in just a minute, and that is where I bounce around a ton. So I will probably skip through that a bit. I'll try to narrate what I do have on film here, but like I mentioned before, I move things around a lot, and this video would be like 3 hours if I kept it all in. So anyway, I added a little more of that tan twine over to the clipboard just to tie in that same color over on the left side of the page. And also I just like adding a little softness. I did grab that circle frame sticker from the cardstock sticker sheet, that's from the main kit, to sort of frame out those tags at the top. And then you can see that I added more of those die cut leaves to the left. I'm adding a few together. I thought I would do a little cluster at the top as well. So I tied a couple of those together, and now I'm just picking out some more of those vellum leaves to anchor that. Now this is where I kind of bounce around. So I did pick out a phrase to go along with these 2 tags in the upper right corner of this photo. While I was doing that, I also grabbed some puffy stickers. Both of those items, the cardstock stickers and the puffy stickers, are on my recipe, so I'm making sure I include those, which they look so cute up there as well. So I love that. I also added a little puffy leaf twig under the right side of the fox. I don't think that was on camera, but I just wanted to mention that. And then here is where I'm going to fussy cut all these leaves. Now the back side, this is the back side of the Wouldn't You Believe It paper, and when I first saw this pattern, I was like, I don't know how I will ever use that paper. But you know what? As I started creating, this yellow color of all these leaves matched that gold color of that paint perfectly. And so they were the perfect leaves to fussy cut and just sprinkle that gold color all around the page. And so I fussy cut a ton of them. I really did. and I've just sprinkled them all around. I even added the orange berries in there, and you can see that I really built out those leaf clusters. And like I mentioned, I skipped that part because it was a lot of back and forth, but you know, there'll be some detail shots at the end if you want to get a closer look at those. So I wanted to anchor my cluster in the top right or top left corner of my page. So I decided to bring in a couple of branding strips. Actually, this little piece, this light blue piece, is the same light blue paper that I used to mat the photo, and then I added the branding strip from the shadow blue navy cardstock from the cardstock kit, just to repeat that color out there. So I'm just going to add a couple of those strips. I will adhere this leaf cluster. It will almost look like it's hanging from those brand strips, which I think is really cute. And then I will add that circle die cut there that says love the season, which I do. I absolutely love fall. So that is a really good die cut to put there. So I will pop that up. At first I thought I would tuck it underneath the little berries, but I end up putting it over the top just so that you could read that a little bit better. So I did decide while I was in the branding strip that that my page needed a little more color on the bottom. So I love this circle pattern. So my clusters were quite glued down, so I did just end up cutting little pieces of that brand strip and just kind of tucking them in there, and I think that works great. I think it ties into the colorful, you know, stickers that I have going on with the fox and then the puffy stickers at the top of the photo. So I like that it brings a little more color down to the bottom. So I went back to the cardstock stickers, and I wanted to add a few of these phrases to kind of extend the title down a little bit. So I picked out 3 of the white phrases, and then I just kind of scattered them there in a waterfall type pattern below the title, which I think looks great. So I did go back to my computer and I typed up my journaling. I thought it might fit exactly on top of this other white cardstock that I had there, but it didn't. So I just used a little undo to undo it and then add that typed journaling in there. I do go back in and add a few more of those die cut leaves just to fill in the extra little spaces around my journaling so that it looks, you know, intentional, I guess. So the final little detail is, of course, I got to add some of these pearl stickers. I used a bunch of the chocolate brown ones on my last layout, so I'm going to try and use mostly the apricot and soft pink ones on this layout, which I think looks so cute. And I'm just going to sprinkle them around the circle die cut at the top, a few of them on that phrase at the top of the photo, and then I'll sprinkle them around the phrase strips at the bottom. Now looking at this page, you can see that I've really hugged the right side of this layout. Like all of my leaves are touching the very edge of the right side of the layout. So that makes the left side of my layout look a little sparse, I guess. I kind of wish I could pick it all up and move it towards the center, but it was very glued down with liquid glue. So there was no way I was going to do that. So I went back to that awesome pattern paper with the wouldn't you believe it with all of those yellow sprigs. I fussy cut out several more of those along with another die cut leaf and vellum leaves, and I just layered them up together just like I have been around the rest of the page, and I love the way it looks. So yes, this page is full. It's just overflowing with lots of fall goodness, which I love because it's definitely my favorite season, and I had so much fun not only fussy cutting these leaves, but die cutting the leaves and then using those vellum leaves. I love all the different textures kind of piled up on top of each other, which reminds me so much of all of the fun textures that you see out in nature during fall. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed this layout. Again, this is the October 2023 Hip Kits. My name is Jana Eubank. We'll see you next time.